Number 19. Kyle Masters, which before I even pull up the rankings, I just immediately know Z has to be the highest. Yep, there he is. I know Z's going to have plenty to say. Does anyone want to step in before Z? Because Kyle Masters is like his Kalen Addison.
Oh, I love Kyle Masters. I know he had a good season in the ECHL. I just like to see him get more time in the AHL. I loved his game in the WHL, and I just want to see him, make that step to the AHL and then make an impact there, and then maybe NHL from there. But good ECHL season. I'd love to see his AHL season.
Yeah, I'm glad they did him a favor and not put him in the AHL this year, because that just would have probably just hampered him a little bit, given how bad they were.
Yeah, he was kind of like said to be a little bit more of a project from the get-go, like a guy that's going to have a little bit longer development timeline maybe than some other players. But like, I think you've seen the right steps kind of each year from, doing well in the CHL, and then, last year doing decently well in the ECHL. So like you're slowly starting to see like that progression. So I think this is a huge year for him. If he earns a spot in Iowa, can he continue to keep taking that next step and not plateau like we've seen a little bit from a couple of these other guys?
Swoon away, Z.
I mean, he's my son. He is my prospect pool son. Again, same thing we say about him every time. Like when he was in Red Deer, the most anti-Kyle Masters system humanly possible, where it is just like, yeah, you can like cook in your own end, hit everybody, hit everything that moves, break the puck out for us, and then get off the ice. Didn't really get much of an offensive look whatsoever. We were clamoring for him to get traded to any WHL team that would let him run wild. And that trade to Kamloops could not have been the most perfect scenario possible, where he went from 14 points in 65 games with Red Deer, and then he goes to Kamloops, puts up 65 points in 66 games. But I just think he plays such a projectable game. Like Brett said, when they drafted him, the commentary around that is like, this is a guy that you wait 4, 5, maybe even 6 years before he's a full-time NHL player. But in the meantime, like the base layer of tools, the skill set that he already has lends itself very well to an NHL future, and especially where the NHL is going in terms of like defensemen that maybe they're not going to put up 1 million points in the NHL, but who are the guys that play second pair, third pair minutes, but log still on a team that plays those guys a lot. Kyle Masters absolutely fits that mold, where he might be your second or third pair guy, but he can easily give you 16, 17, 18 minutes of just really solid two-way hockey. I just love the player. He's very fun to watch. And it was nice because once he was in Kamloops and was asked to actually like make projectable offensive plays, he didn't just do the thing where he just ends up in like where the blue line meets the wall, aka the corner of death, and just like throws the puck on net. That was pretty much all 16 of his points in Red Deer was just doing that shit. But then in Kamloops, they actually let him just cook. So I think there is some serious upside with him. I think he should make that Iowa Wild roster out of camp and stick there and not go back down to the ECHL. Again, he's still a couple years away from being NHL ready, but I think he just plays such a projectable game in terms of the transition game. He's unforecheckable. Like you cannot forecheck him. It's phenomenal to watch. Very fun. So I just like his game a ton. Makes everyone's lives easier on the ice. Like the forwards pretty much can just hang out right around the blue line once it gets dumped in, and he's going to go retrieve. He's going to hit you with the first pass, or he's going to do it himself. So I like Kyle Masters a lot, and obviously put him at 15.
By the way, I have to just chime in here because someone might comment this soon based on you calling him your draft son. Hoppy, no joke. From someone commented like last week on one of your guys' videos from like last year talking about Kalen Addison and going, wait, one of you guys are actually his dad?
Yes. Yes.
My kid probably weighs about as much as him now at 7 months. So
that is true.
Yeah. What the 2020 draft? 2020, yeah, 2023. Was that Matejchuk? either way, his dad randomly started messaging me on Twitter. He's like, "Thank you for pumping out the Matejchuk content." And I was like, "Absolutely, bro.
That's
no
awesome.
problem."
More or less messages than relatives of the golfer on the Wild.
No, no one's gonna top that. No one, impossible.
Relatives, or is it the one single relative?
One.
Yeah.
There's that one. Yeah.
Shout out Auntie Boldy, who is not on the Boldy side of the family.
You said it, not me. We have to bleep that out. She specifically.
That
That person specifically was like, do not. I already got in trouble with my first account.
Ooh. So there's your Kyle Masters. And
She just told me I couldn't say her name. I didn't say her name.
Oh, yeah,
You
I guess
did.
her name. Pretty much. All right. We've wrapped up our Kyle Masters talk.